3, 2, 1. Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to the second channel. So I thought I'd do a Huzzy update. Not done one of those in a while, at least a few weeks. And, you know, quite a lot's happened, you know, by this video title. I don't know, this will be probably called something like health, car, and that's probably it update. You know, those are the two main things we're going to talk about today. So how's my health update going? How's life in general going? There we go. How's my health? How's life in general? And how, and then also talking about a new car. So we'll leave the car stuff till last because I can talk about that forever. So the first thing is, how am I doing in general? The first thing, well, I'll say I'm doing pretty good. Good in places, a bit meh in others, which does like link with the health issues a bit. So life at the moment is going well. You know, I'm no longer throwing up every day. The medication is working. However, there are side effects to the medication I'm on. One of which is drowsiness. Second is nauseous. So I'm not throwing up anymore, but I do have a general feeling of being ill, which isn't nice, but at least I'm not actually throwing up. So those are the two main side effects. And the last few days I have been feeling quite drained. I've still tried to maintain as much exercise as I possibly could, but unfortunately earlier this week, my back went completely. Basically on Monday, my back went doing, and I think it was from the stream. I have been exercising. I've got weights in the garage and everything like that, but I don't push myself too hard at home. On Monday, we did a 9-hour stream, which I normally don't do, and I was like this for 9 hours gaming, like hunched over. My back is completely locked up, and it's still bad. It's not as bad. I was getting shooting pain when I woke up on the Tuesday, so unfortunately, I haven't been to the gym this week. It's just been one of those weeks that your back is like bang, and if I'm going to a gym and lifting weights and that's probably not a very good mix. So that's got me a bit annoyed because I really do want to get into the gym and I hate having to cancel to my trainer and stuff. Like, he's a really cool dude, so I'm sure he's okay with it, but I annoyingly have to move my sessions quite a bit because things come up. Like last week, literally, I had to change my session. I can't even remember. There's too much going on. I had to change my session the last time anyway, from a Tuesday to a Thursday, because I found out on the morning of the Tuesday that I had a meeting around the same time as my gym. And then I was in the meeting and it lasted, I'm not kidding, 12 minutes. The meeting lasted 12 minutes, and there was 2 questions that they asked me, basically, and I could have said yes to both of them in email. So I did express that, you know, if this is the type of meeting, please just email me, because I literally had to cancel a gym, and they're like, okay. But apart from that, that's my only annoyance at the moment. So yeah, the side effects of the medication's a bit meh. The back at the moment is very stiff. But apart from that, things are pretty good. I worked out the other day randomly that income-wise, again, I share a bit more on this channel because I know people like to hear that, you know, we're doing well and the job security. Randomly, this month is going to be one of my best months I've ever had in YouTube history, in income. And it just kind of works out by a few things being paid. So this month I signed my renewal for my YouTube network, and that also comes with a signing bonus that you can negotiate, and I've got my largest signing bonus I've ever got this year. Which is cool. I've got paid several sponsorships, because sometimes, you know, you've got several sponsorships going on, but they don't always get paid right then. Sometimes it's like, oh, we'll pay you in a month later. That's in the contract. Like 3 or 4 sponsorships are getting paid this month. The YouTube channel income is actually back on the rise quite nicely. The Twitch channel is doing solid. It's just been one of those months that when you're adding everything up, you're like, how the hell did that happen? And again, I don't mind sharing, but it's over 5 figures in dollars, again. And we're in the middle of the summer, which is never known for its income, which is crazy. Like, holy damn. So that's really cool. Again, it does come through hard work, however you may think. You know, there was a guy on stream yesterday or the day before, when I was like, oh, things are a bit stressful, they're like, you play video games for a living, how's things stressful to you? It's like, it's like, that's a portion of what I do. That's not everything that I do. It's just what you see is video games. I spend more time not playing video games than playing video games. For every video you watch, there's at least an hour of back work. So if it's a 20 to 30 minute video, there's an hour worth of back work at least behind that video every single time. So you're basically doubling the workload every single time. especially with the types of commentaries that I've been doing recently, that you play the game and then do a commentary over it, because then I'm more than doubling the work, because I normally commentate while I'm playing. But again, it's not complaining, it's just kind of going, sometimes it's a bit like, and then the payoff is sometimes I know not everything's about money, and it shouldn't be. Like, again, I wouldn't do this if I hated doing it. I'm in the position now that I can go swap career, go become a pilot if I wanted to, but I'm going to continue doing this, because I find it fun. But the payoff is when sometimes you look at the bank account, you're like, I'm 24 and I'm doing pretty good. So that's nice. But yeah, and obviously there are sacrifices with it. I hardly go out and that type of thing, because I don't have any spare time. I'm doing 2 videos a day every single day, so where is the spare time? The time that my friends have got off, a lot of the time I have to work, because that's just how streaming works. You're streaming when people have time off, because that's when you get the audience. But yeah, like, there's positives and negatives for sure, but I do like what I do. But yeah, other than that, I think that's about, small little, like, Huzz, what do I, about the house update, are you moving? Still on the fence. Brexit is still obviously forever ongoing. It's just never going to end. But basically, I'm just waiting for that to happen. I didn't mention, I don't think, that in the last video. I remember watching it back and like, damn, I didn't mention that. But yeah, I'm just waiting for Brexit. As I mentioned, I can go become a pilot, or I can just buy a house. And again, generally with a house, you're putting 10% deposit on. Even with putting 10% deposit on, that doesn't hit me too hard to then become a pilot, a year later or 2 years later. If I buy a house, I wouldn't be looking to become a pilot straight away. I'd be looking to, really go hard on streaming and stuff, even harder than I'm doing now, because I'll be in my own place. I'll be able to stream at night for Americans. That would be the idea of moving out. So in like 6 months, I'd make back at least the money that I put into the house. That would be the idea. But yeah, other than that, things are going pretty good. It's just kind of finishing I've got from my knowledge, I've got 1 sleeve of my tablets left, which I think is 8 tablets, and I take 2 a day. So I've got 4 days left of the medication, which means I also now need to book a doctor's appointment to go back and be like, should I continue the medication? Is the problem gone? I'm still getting, like, I'm not throwing up every day, but I still get queasy, so I'm not sure if the problem is fully fixed, so I might need to go on another month of this, which again is another month of side effects. But if it fixes the problem, I'm okay with it. I spent years throwing up daily. A couple months of feeling a bit weird is okay. And I'm not sure if by the time I finish this medication will I have another endoscopy. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I spoke about that. I probably did, but yeah, I had the camera down my throat and everything. Again, it was really fascinating watching it on the screen. Again, I didn't opt for any type of anesthetic, apart from they just did a spray the back of my throat, which didn't really help. But that was it. They said I was one of the calmest people that they've ever had, and I was literally just watching it on the monitor of my insides, and they were explaining to me, and they were literally showing me the problem and be like, "There you go. There's your problem right there." I was like, So that was cool. Now on to the next topic, which I'm sure a lot of people will be here kind of like eager to listen to, is the new car situation. So I've been on the fence of whether do I upgrade my car for a while. Again, I love my car. Again, I don't want to feel or seem ungrateful, because I'm sure a lot of people would be incredibly happy with the current car I've got for a long time. It's a 2017 BMW 2 Series Sport Coupe. The problem that I'm going to tell a story, because what I want to get out of this, and what my dad said, is in life you learn lessons, and you learnt a lesson of not to rush into a big purchase decision. So that's what I did. I rushed into a purchase decision. I don't really regret buying my car, but I would have bought the exact car, but I bought it too early. So let's just tell a story of how I bought the car, and then you'll get an idea of why I'm upgrading. So 2017, July, I have my driving test. I had a car before that. A lot of I owned a BMW 1 Series. I just didn't get along with that car. I hated its clutch. So I never drove it. I never practiced in it. I just didn't do it. It was a spare car. My dad used it a couple times to save his own car's mileage. Literally, I bought that car. That BMW 1 Series was £10,000, and it was basically a waste. My dad did buy it off me, so I didn't lose money, thankfully, because my dad's like nice. So I was like, thank God. Well, I probably lost a little bit because he didn't buy it for 10,000. He bought it for like 7, I think. So I lost like 3 grand for practicing it in it maybe 10 times. Not worth. Anyway, I came to the conclusion that, I'm going to pass my test in a manual. So I know how to drive manual. I've driven manuals, etc. I just didn't get along with that 1 Series for whatever reason. But I decided I was going to buy an automatic. It's just easier to drive. If I want to do, the driving experience, you're not going to get the driving experience when you're driving in public roads, really. So you don't need to have a manual in that sense. If you want to have the driving experience, you can do. My dad's done it a bunch of times. You can go to like Silverstone, you can rent an Aston Martin or something with a manual, and you can go around the track like that. My dad's done that to get it out of his system. That's what I'll probably do in the future. It's something that I do recommend. My dad absolutely loves it, and he does it like once a year. But yes, and so I was like, I'm going to buy an automatic. So me being me, my plan was if I pass my test as a reward to myself, and plus it being near my birthday, my birthday's July the 5th, so my birthday's actually upcoming. I passed my driving test, I think, on July the 17th. I passed it. Woo! We drove home with my instructor. They drive you home. We pull up on my driveway. My dad's there waiting for me because I rang him in the car. And we spoke to my driving instructor for maybe 15 minutes because, you're never really going to see a driving instructor again. Which I haven't. I've seen his car drive around giving lessons, but I've never seen him like said hello. So we're saying our goodbyes, kind of just being nice and all that. And then after he left, I said to my dad, right, let's go. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, let me just go change my shirt because I'm a bit sweaty from the driving test. Let's go to BMW. And he was like, okay. And my dad is very much in the principle that, if whatever you buy is it's your own money. I'm not going to stop you buying stuff that you've earned yourself. So he wasn't ever going to stop me. And everything that I've bought, everything you see in this room, my computers, my cars, everything is mine. I bought it myself. That's the philosophy that my family has. And obviously, when we were growing up, my dad bought stuff, but now we're adults. You want something, you buy something. If you can't afford it, you don't get it. So it's a philosophy that I do respect. And anyway, he came to BMW for me. We walked around the parking lot of all the cars, and I already knew on the website, I looked on the website, which I shouldn't have done. There was a pre-registered BMW 2 Series Coupe Sport in black with most of the options available. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I bought that car on the day that I passed my driving test. Now, if you're wondering why am I telling this story, is because it's the story of rushing into a purchase. So I got hyped a couple days before my driving test, looked into it, and what I didn't do is look when the brand new model was coming out. Because the brand new model of a 2 Series or whatever usually comes with quite big upgrades, interior upgrades especially, and as people may realize, I'm a very big tech person. I love technology. My current car is very technology bare. It doesn't have Apple CarPlay. I thought it did. Actually, the other month it doesn't. It's just got voice activated on some stuff. It doesn't have Apple CarPlay. It doesn't have, anything, basically. Parking camera, wireless charging in the car. It doesn't have folding. There's a lot that it just doesn't have, and I'm a massive tech nut. And that bugged me because the upgrade of the 2 Series interior and the tech came literally 2 months later. 2 months later, after I purchased my car, the tech upgrade came. The September, basically, year when you could order. That always in my mind was a bit like, God damn it. Because I love driving the car, but as a tech person, I was annoyed. So that's the lesson, is do a bit of research before you're buying a big car, like a big purchase in general, especially a car, because there's new models always coming out with big upgrading tech. And the weird thing is the upgrade in tech from the year that I had to what's now was a huge upgrade. To put it in perspective, the 1 Series that I had before, it was a 2011 BMW 1 Series, has the same interior as my current 2017 car. Like, that interior literally was going for a long time before they upgraded it. And obviously the upgrade brung a lot of upgrades. So, my bad. But again, you learn and all that type of thing. So what I've done recently is done a lot of research about when upgrades are coming, the technology level, etc. What triggered it all, by the way, and I will say, it wasn't me being like, I'm going to get a new car out of nowhere. Basically, my sister, who owns a Mini, got a letter from Mini saying, you know, hey, we have again, it's probably like a sales thing, but they were like, we've got a lack of used minis with low mileage. We'd like to get yours and trade it in. So that got my sister in the mindset of, oh, I'm going to get a new car. She went over to Mini, and she usually gets great deals there. She's had two Minis. Not a good deal. Like, it just wasn't. You know, she wanted a slight upgrade to what she's got now. She doesn't have leather interior, so she wanted leather interior. She wanted sat nav. She doesn't have those things in her current one, and it just wasn't a good deal. The letter, what she got, wasn't really true. I guess it was a sales thing. So then she kind of asked them. She's like, in my finance deal, I've got 1 year left. What's the policy on just giving you the car back? And they were like, you can just give it back. Like, you literally just sign a piece of paper, you put something to the DVLA, our motor people. I can't remember, DL, I can't remember what it is in America equivalent. But you just literally let them know you're giving the car back. There's literally no penalties, and you can just give it back. My sister, by the way, in that car, didn't even have to give a deposit. So she's losing no money, and great. So she goes a little bit of car shopping. She ends up in Mercedes. She falls in love with the brand new 2019 A-Class. The hatchback, the old A-Class before was actually kind of bad. It was never reviewed well, but they completely updated it, apparently, and that's what she's ended up with. She's bought one of those. It'll be arriving in the next couple weeks, and she's getting that, and she's fallen in love with it, and it's got the updated interior. So that got me thinking, and because she was rattling off all the tech that the car has, and there's, again, you heard the story of me being like, tech. My car has no tech. So I looked into a Mercedes myself. So here's the announcement, I guess. I'm going to be basically doing the same thing as what my sisters did. I'm more or less going to give my car back to BMW, and I'm probably going to go pick up myself a Mercedes. There is a small chance I might still stay with BMW because, you know, I'm not dumb. BMW tech is equally as good as Mercedes, but I'm going to go over to BMW and be like, I'm thinking about giving the car back unless you guys can give me a crazy deal on a 4 Series Coupe. That's kind of what I'm going with at the moment, but I'm leaning towards just getting a Mercedes. Like, get a different brand. I've had 2 BMWs already. Go for Mercedes. And there's 3 options at the moment. One is the C-Class Coupe. It's basically a bigger version of what I've got now, but Mercedes, etc. The problem with it is it doesn't have the updated interior. Hasn't been updated. So it has a lot of technology, more than my car, way more. But it hasn't got the updated tech like the new A-Class has. That's even better. So when I looked into it, I was like, what do I want from a car? One, I want it to be fast, faster than I've currently got. 2, I want it to be more practical than I've currently got. I wanted to go bigger because my car, it's quite small. And even like me, I'm not like a massive dude by any means. I do feel a little bit small, a little bit big for that car, like a little bit. If I lost maybe a couple stone, I'd probably be okay. But obviously that's going to take some time. But, you know, if I've got passengers in the car, it's a squeeze. I've had my whole family, because I don't drink. Sometimes I drive to restaurants and stuff. My family squeezes in that car. So something a little bit more practical wouldn't go amiss. And, you know, future-proofing, having 5 doors is always probably better than 2 for your main car. So it's between 2 cars that I've narrowed down. The C-Class Coupe would be nice, but it doesn't have the updated interior, and there's no news of when it's getting updated. It could be updated next year. I don't want to wait that long. It's between the A-Class Saloon, or what I think I'm going to go for is the CLA Saloon. So they're basically a hybrid between an A-Class and a C-Class. They've merged them together to make a saloon version. But dimensionally, the C-Class Saloon, it's not really bigger than the CLA, that from what I've seen. And the CLA has the coupe line, so it looks sporty as hell, but it's got 5 doors, and it's more practical. It's bigger than my current car. The boot capacity is vastly bigger, which is nice, because, you know, sometimes if I'm lugging around a computer to go over friends or anything, my car... But yeah, so I'm leaning towards the CLA Saloon. I'm probably going to go for either... I know I'm going to go for the AMG line, but it's either going for the 220 or the 250. Basically, the brake horse difference is the 220, I believe, is 194 brake horsepower, and the 250 is 220, roughly. So it's not that big of a difference. The only difference to me, majorly, is the 250 is the only one that you can get the proper AMG look that has the black alloys and the really, like, crazy-looking grille and everything like that. So that's what I'm leaning towards. It should be good. But we're doing that next month, because again, what I don't know if I said exactly earlier, after 2 years is when you can give your car back in a finance deal. 2 years is obviously coming up in just over a month for me. My 2 years would be July the 17th, because that's when I bought the car. So yeah, again, there's still a very small chance that I might end up with BMW, because they could literally go, no, we don't want you to leave, and give a crazy deal on a 4 Series. I'll be fine with a 4 Series, fair enough. It's bigger. That's what I did. Again, perfect size for me would be a 3 Series coupe, but they don't do that anymore. But yeah, that is currently the plan of car. Again, some people are like, what about Tesla? I did look into Tesla. Basically, the problem with Tesla and me at the moment is it would be a lovely car. It would suit me quite well because I don't drive that much. Therefore, electric would be good for me. But I like to upgrade my car, as people may be aware. I've already had 2 cars. I like to upgrade it. And again, it's not out of like a crazy luxury. My monthly costs of a car will basically not go up by much. Like it really isn't going to be like extortionately more expensive at all. But a Tesla would be more extortionately expensive, because what Tesla doesn't do in car finance, the way that they get you in is you're buying the car. It's your car. But you do a car finance deal that you pay monthly, and at the end of your term, usually 4 years, there's a big chunk at the end that you've got to pay, the remaining amount. And what people usually do at that time, which is what I do or want to do, is you just trade the car in for a newer car. So you're constantly like kind of in that brand. And some people say that's bad, but if you like upgrading your car every few years, that's fine. But what Tesla does, and what's different, is they don't offer a final payment at the end. So your monthly costs are significantly more expensive. And again, it's one thing you can afford. Sure, I can afford it, but do I want to spend, I think it was like £700 a month on a Tesla? Not really. Like, I just don't need that. Like, put it in perspective, the current car I've got, the 2 Series, it's £300 a month. The CLA that I'll be looking at, I've fully upgraded it on the configurator, put in my little finance like configurator and all that. It was like £400 a month. It's £100 a month more for a ridiculously powerful car that's more practical, that in my opinion does look a little bit nicer. But I will be honest, I'll miss the car that I've currently got. It drives amazingly well. I just bought it too early. If I bought that 2 months later, that had all the updated interior, the updated technology, had it all, I don't think I'd be looking to upgrade. It's just I rushed into the decision, and me being a tech person is like... Oh, and also, if I fully admit, one big thing that I didn't mention of, like, some people go, oh, that's not a big thing to upgrade. So you've got to admit faults in yourselves every now and then, and, where are you good in life, where are you bad in life. I suck at parking. I suck. I just do. The reason why I probably suck at parking is because I don't drive that much, so I don't get much practice. Obviously, practice makes perfect. I'm not very good at it. And even just a basic idea of having a reverse camera so I can see the lines that I'm reversing into easier would help me a lot. Like, trust me, it would just give me... It's not an anxiety thing, but I hate having to pull into a car park spot, even open my door, see where the line is, and usually I'm on the line, so I'm like, oh, I've got to readjust. Because I'm courteous. I know there's a lot of people out there that were just like, oh, screw it, I just leave. I don't care. I'm not that. I want to be in the middle of a parking spot because I want people to be able to park around me if they wanted to. And I'm just bad at it. I'm really bad at it. And basically any new car on the market, they're making it government mandated very soon that cars have to have a reverse camera. Even basic cars have to have a reverse camera. So that's even another thing. And, a bonus of that is technically... the new BMWs and Mercedes, they park themselves if you wanted to. I doubt I'd do that. A reverse camera is literally all I need. But if it's a really tricky spot, I'd be like, right, you park for me, car. I don't care. So, yeah, partially there's that as well. I told my family that, and my family was like, admitting that yourself is, probably a little bit hard, but... if it makes you happier and you're more confident, because there has been times that I've been nervous driving, kind of going, not driving. I'm very comfortable at driving. I think I'm actually a relatively good driver, but it's always like, oh, what about parking? That is always my mind. In my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm going somewhere I don't know. I don't know the parking situation. Ooh, what happens if the parking's really tricky? I'm not very good at parking. So yeah, that's another reason at the end there. So I don't know if people would have enjoyed this. There's like 25 minutes of me just rambling about stuff. I know a lot of people listen to these randomly. I've got told anyway. They listen to them in bed to send them off to sleep. So if that's you right now, have a nice sleep. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm literally gonna have today off. I'm having a couple more days off normally than I do because again I've just been feeling a bit run down recently. Again, I was supposed to be in the gym today. My back is still killing me. So I'm just gonna take it easy. I think I will play a little bit of League. Probably. And what I'll probably do is don't do any commentaries, but I'll record the point of view footage because people love those commentaries. And if some of those games are worth doing, then we'll do them too. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy my rambling, and what I will say again to end, I hope people don't see what I say of this type of thing as like a showy off thing. This is literally just sharing my life. This is what the second channel was supposed to be for. This is something that's going on in my life, and if I'm honest, I've got two big friend groups. My real life friend group, my university friend group. Only one of them is really interested in cars, and then my online friend group, none of them are interested in cars. So this is kind of me just getting it out of my system to people that might be interested in cars themselves. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, throw a like on it. Again, second channel. Content on this channel, it might be coming soon. There was apparently a big update to They Are Billions, so I actually might record some of that today for a series on this channel, possibly. Because you guys enjoyed They Are Billions when we played it last. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time anyway. Comment down below if you want to chat. Any questions, feel free to put them down there. Again, the more likely place you're going to get an answer from me is on this channel in this comment section. Because there won't be as many. But I'll see you guys next time. See ya.